and welcome. I was just setting up to start today's wood turning project and I want to use this particular faceplate today. It's my 8 threads per inch faceplate that I bought to fit my lathe adapter. But I can't find the little plastic disc template I made to centre this on my piece of wood. Now I did have one. This one I have is the template I made for my original faceplate that came with my cheapy Parkside lathe. When I first got this, I made this little plastic template so that I would be able to centre that on my piece of wood. And when I got this faceplate, I also made a little template so I could centre it onto the lathe, but I can't find it. So I'm going to have to make another one. And as I'm making a template for this faceplate, I thought I would make one for my Record Power SC3 chuck as well, because that came with a faceplate which I haven't used yet, but when I come to use it, I'm going to want to be able to centre it on my piece of wood. So I'm going to take a pause in today's proceedings and go make another little video about making these plastic templates. I find them very useful and thought it would make a worthwhile standalone little short clip. So I'll see you back in a moment when I've done that. Wonderful, so now I'm all prepared with my 3 faceplate options and my 3 faceplate centering discs, all ready to set up my next wood turning project. Using my compass to mark up the edges of my piece of wood, I've marked a circle and found the centre point of my piece of wood. So now I can take the template I've made, match up its centre point over that mark and draw around my template. Oh, my wood's bumpy. There we go. So now I know when I set my faceplate into that circle and put my screws in, this is going to be sitting in the centre of this particular block of wood. I'm also going to saw off these excess corners. It saves chisel work and helps balance things out a little as well. Put that all together, ready to mount onto the lathe. And we'll see what I'm making today. Here we are, piece of wood all mounted up and ready to go. I've cut its edges off to octagonalise it. Octagonalise, there's a word and a half. Not sure it even exists. Now, change of plan already. Today I was planning to make an egg cup, and the picture in my head is something like this: a saucery shaped piece and the egg holding piece all together as one piece of wood. Where's my egg? For my egg to fit in. Then when you shell your egg, you can put all your bits of debris on the little saucery plate. That was the plan, but looking at the piece of wood I have prepared, it's not big enough around. My saucer size, which is pretty perfect, completely smothers this piece of wood. So it's nice and deep, and I think that would be perfect, but it's not going to be big enough around for my saucery shaped piece. I don't think. No, definitely not. This standard teacup saucer with an egg cup in the middle is just a nice amount of space for my eggy debris. Maybe a finger or 2 of toast. So, change of plan. I also have another project in mind that I want to do on the lathe, and that is making a pin cushion. So basically this piece of wood is going to become a little wooden bowl to make a pin cushion out of. So let's see how that goes instead. I have an adapter that goes with my cheapy Parkside lathe that turns this unusual thread into an 8 TPI thread. So I can now get all sorts of parts and extras that will fit onto my nice new 8 threads per inch thread. My new faceplate. It's not that new now, I've had it for a while. This is not actually making any contact with the wood. It's just here as a little bit of a, if things fly off, there's something else getting in the way. I don't expect this to come flying off the lathe. It might crack or split though. That would cause it to come flying off. So I have my apron to keep off the dust. Doesn't keep all of it off, but it saves a little bit. Ear defenders. And my face shield. Dusty as ever. I know you don't like my gloves, but I do. So let's start roughing with a roughing gouge. This is a nice piece of bark. I might actually leave that in my finished piece. We'll see how it goes. I've got a bit more saw mark to cut through yet. And this is looking a little fluffy. End grain cut not smoothly, so I'm going to give this a quick sharpen. See if it helps with that little fluffy bit of end grain. Scraggly bit I can see spinning round. Okay, so there's like no foot here, but foot there, so I need to cut a bit more off of that. Make it deeper. Oh, we've still got this, nice. Looking nice, a nice high-sided bowl. I don't think this is going to become a pin cushion. This is just going to be another beautiful bowl to add to the collection. Let's flatten that bottom off. I know, what I should do is turn my tool rest round and use my bowl gouge or something to mark across the bottom and flatten it out, or even my roughing gouge or my skew chisel. Not to go all the way in like that, but it works and it's fun. If you go too far, there's a risk it's going to flick you round or flick you up. So it is a dodgy thing to do. I have a very flat bottom. Now that would be good for a glue block. Now I need to decide, do I want to cut here, take it in to give me a sticky outfit to grab with my chuck? Do I want something for this to grab hold of in there? Or do I want to make a hole so it can open out into it? I don't know. I think I might make an open outy hole today. And then I can keep this amount of side on my bowl. If I do a grabby bit, I'm going to cut it all away. So I'm going to put a recess in the bottom for my chuck to open out into. I like this. I might keep this. If we stop about here, I'll be able to keep that and have a very square bowl. So what size do I want for my woodchuck? Using my pencil to mark a circle in the bottom of my wood that will hopefully fit the woodchuck. If it doesn't fit, I'll just draw another circle until I get it the right size. Oh my, that looks perfect. Well, that was sheer chance. So if I cut a recess that size, my chuck's going to be able to open out into it. Sorry folks, you can't see much here. I'm afraid the camera's at the wrong angle for the bottom of the bowl yet. I'll move it later when we're carving the inside. I'm sorry, you're in the wrong camera position to see what I'm doing. Well, I've made an indent, or cut an indent into the bottom of my bowl, so the woodchuck can grab hold of it when I turn it round. Now there's a name for this: recess, divot, dent. I don't know what it's called. I'm not good with any of the terminology for wood turning. I'm just slowly getting an idea of how to turn a tool. And I see I've got a saw mark there I'd like to cut past. So I think a little bit, nah, I don't want to go any deeper. That will be fine. It's not very deep. It probably ought to be deeper. That's all we're getting. The little bit of bowl gouging I did at the beginning felt really nice actually, and up to now I've not been comfortable with the bowl gouge. It feels strange to me. So slightly more of an in turn here, curve that in a little. We still have a little bit of bark left, that's nice. A very last minute decision to put this little lip around the edge. I like that. I've got it on quite a few bowls that I've made. I see I've still got a saw mark here. Character we'll call it. Time for a little sandpaper, I think. Looking nice, and then we'll turn it round. So I've got a little bit of, I don't know what, because it's so tiny. Feels quite rough though. I'd say maybe a 120. No, that's 120. No, it's rougher than that. So I've got a 120 and a 240 and something that's rougher than 120. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'll use that actually. It might be too rough. We'll see. Ooh, nice. still need that. So that's what the chuck goes on. Does that fit the chuck? There's the recess I made. It's not very deep, but it does, hopefully. Yay, it fits the chuck. Time to take off the faceplate and turn this lump of wood around so we can carve out the middle and make it into a bowl. Well, let's put this on the lathe. Chuck a key. Now my bowl. Gosh, that already feels tight and I've hardly done anything. That'll do. Nice. That's the first time I've used it, pushing out. Right. I'm going to put my mask on before I forget. That's what I did last time. I took it off for something and then forgot to put it back on. I'm going to use my bowl gouge, which has been very little used. I'm going to take this off the end because it gets in the way. Well, I don't know what you'll get to see. Probably just this bright yellow door that's a bit of a distraction. And my elbow in the way. So I'm going to use my new bowl gouge that I haven't used much. I've had it a while now and I find it a bit, it's just strange. I'm not used to it. But it was feeling quite nice when I cut the bottom out of this bowl. So let's see how we get on. Time to have that music back, I think. To check how my depth is doing compared to the outside of my bowl, or my pencil will do. Just anything to stick inside. Say, well, I'm that deep with my thumb. I can see I'm that deep inside. I can measure that against the outside of my bowl. So I can go deeper. Quite like the thick walls. And it seems to be standing up well in the chuck. Deeper. My bowl, and I can put this into there so I can see what depth I'm at. I don't want to be getting any deeper. That's my depth. So am I happy with the roundness of this? I think so. done with this one, sandpaper it up. Some sandpaper and we're done. Nice. Oh, wait. Very cool bowl. Nice. Well, a very nice willow bowl. Not quite the project I anticipated when I started today, with a beautiful interior with very deep high sides, which is a style I seem to have adopted for myself. I have managed to retain a chunk of bark in the exterior of this bowl, which is rather nice, and I did use a recess. I don't know the proper name for this. I'm sure someone will be kind enough to let me know, that I fitted my woodchuck into. So that's the first time I've used my lovely new SC3 chuck to expand into this recess rather than grabbing hold of something. And it worked brilliantly. I'm really pleased. So much easier than hot gluing things onto another block of wood. The hot glue was fantastic before I was in a position to purchase a chuck, but now I have a woodchuck. I absolutely love it. So a very nice little wooden bowl. Not today's plan though. I was planning an egg cup, and when that didn't work, I thought I'd make something different, but I haven't done that either. So 2 more projects to work on. And I do have a finished product, a very nice bowl to add to my beautiful bowl collection, and I'm sure it'll get loved and used lots. So I'm afraid that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now, and remember, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.
If you've enjoyed today's video, click that like button and let me know. Click subscribe and YouTube will make sure you see my next video. Bye for now, and thanks for watching. And don't forget, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.